for us to see that we are the ones who come into union. That is how we have some fun together with one another. It's true. We must be willing to play by the rules of where we are if we want to share some common ground. There was a wind compass. Which directions the wind coming out of? Carmela was there, which is interesting because the car connection to the royal family of the monarch. Camilla, she was who we were primed and geared to hate be, 'cause she took Charles from the people's princess Diana. Diana was who we loved because she wore her heart on her sleeve. And if we resonated with what she stood for, it was using her position of fluence properly. And that's where I want to share. Oh man, Rose Street. The roses of the present, where we see that we come into harmony when we start working towards something with somebody. Which body depends on which one we give energy to it be. It's the other way I'm going, or really a Lindsay way. But it all rhymed well, so I said it, and I don't regret it. Yo, that's all I know. Oh, whoa. It's 3.5 minutes into this message, and I wonder if you get my drift. I have laid a lot down in this, all to invite you to rift with me in your inbox daily for the whole month of March. I'm gonna tell daily stories about how we unified ourselves to come into community and contribute. Back to one another, that's what we must do, because if we try to do it all for ourselves in this distracted world, we'll fall. There's really no reason for us to get pulled over unless we don't pay attention to our environment. That's when we get in trouble, as I could have there if I hadn't sing it because it's more fun. But here we go, gales of wind are upon us, and the siren of the light is calling to her brother and sister to delight in all that we've got waiting for us to claim. It's time for us to make claims and take fucking names. It's Utica, which means you must claim your own pen. John Deere is the brand we have associated with tractors. And yet the John Henry and the John Doe each refer to different Johns, even if it's so that they may be able to play some of each part. But at the end of the night, they are the ones that must choose to not be one of the Christmas trees that are chopped down. The flamingo in the snow with snow boots, I don't think he'd fare well. The Oak Ridge's moraine, it's true that the snow appears insane. It's not truly true, but here is a new bacon auction where there may not be any bacon. I don't know what they're making. Their profits off, but I know what most don't know is that tax is voluntary for us to file publicly and not make claims for what is ours. If we know how to take up our pen, we'll wield it well and play again without the soothing of the suffragettes who advocated to gain rights at the expense of what they could have got if they had been clear what was not what they were implied to be. And so many would seem to think it's appropriate when maybe there's a better one yet. How fun. Ring ding 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 ding. Ring ding 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 ding. Ski day mar. It's true you are the one that you've been waiting for. Yes, 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 it's true you are. I'm on Goodwood Road, it's true. Oh my gosh. Now that I can hear your experience, potentially, I will say I apologize. Woo! How's that? Better? Better listening experience? I'm glad. Lake Ridge Road we go through in order to get to Harmony Hall, where we are going to share the magic of the moment and freestyle creation. We can come together and create what's never existed before, but only if we go there and see the deer finder. The deer is the pathfinder when it's trying to blaze a trail that is uncharted, because there's never been a charted course. You cannot charter what is never charted, so why are you telling how to do what you have never done before? You can't guide where you have not gone, or how and what you have experienced. So until when you have, please don't speak out of turn. Talk about theories you ain't earned. Lived experience is how from our experience. And so I want you to know, if you want to go to the next level, you gotta learn the empowered storytelling method, so you earn your way by seeing the joy starts the journey and leaves an urn with an E, because that's the vessel that you put your ashes in. After cremation, if that's the route you choose, that is when you miss the U-R-N without the E, means ballot box. The pole I tick because that's the stick I fought and fell for. The shtick of BS the Emperor wore, his expensive fancy suit, and no one in public office could see if they didn't deserve the office they had. That was how they were silenced through their fear of being not good enough and losing what they had got and then needed to secure to keep what was theirs, because of the way they say there are two flying swans, white ones. You don't see that along your course often, though that's the second time in a week when I've seen geese, swans flying. More specifically, I first saw 5 when I was at the Smelly Point in Ajax. Stinker's Cove is what it's called. No, that's not right, but it's along those lines. Ooh. Snowy Cinderella, how's that weather? I ask the cows out in the field and horses on the other side what it's like to live their life. Do they like their lot in life? Scots and lots are the way that plots are cast and formed and asked others to fill in according to your will and whim. Oops. I hope they can get out. They just hid. Shit. The snow and without a doubt, they weren't expecting that, and so none of us do. And then when it happens, we go to Coppin's Corners and we see who cops a feel. I wonder if that's how cops came to be called cops in the first place. I have not seen it written anywhere else. Why do they call them cops? By they I do mean us. Why do we call cops police, OPP, or RMCP, and all of the other forms of policy enforcers? Rock Road is where we can be the ones who did the impossible. 111 started new and had some fun along the way. That's what I'm gonna say along those lines today at the Harmony Hall. Performance between 12 and 4. I'm excited to share some of the talent that I shared it with, who are also going to come and share their wares and voices. What they can share, what they can contribute to the community, that is what they'll be invited to share in A44. 11 to 2 p.m., 3 hours to recruit the crew, to elevate consciousness. Sounds about right, I like that, and so I'm going to invite you to be part of the crew that promotes what we do in A44. How fun is that? Oh my word, it's true that we are the ones who haven't heard what we are here for yet, because no one can give us permission to find the mission our soul came to do. It's up to you to seize the day, to break the days that you've been in with your days, the ways you've invested your time, energy, effort, attention, and money. That's your team of energetic resources, and it is time for me to slow down because the Port Perry police are about, and we don't need no trouble with the pole ice officer. Goodwood, goodwill, good cheer. Goodwood is where we have no fear. I must have went the wrong way. Oops, I say. That's the way. We got to slow down because there are boxes that record all we do, when and where, and then send the dues to agencies that will track down you and me through our person and then place a fine for the account to pay. And if we'll give it, then they will say okay that we can be the trustee who made the account holder beneficiary pay the price. It is not nice to not know when and where you're supposed to be. The community center billboard is what we're creating now because we want to stay informed. What's happening? Goodwill Lions, state parties where we need to come together and dress up to play the parts we're already playing. So let's start. Box your broken glass and stop holding the world hostage to the cage we've grown accustomed to just because we're comfortable. I can't quite believe I get to be the one who flows with the consciousness, but I am. So I'll do my best and offer it freely to those who see the progress is progressive, and that's what I have been the whole time, even when others didn't understand what I was laying down. I forged on anyway. I stopped needing acceptance from others who'd say that my method didn't work or I needed to lose. Going with a loser's attitude, I was told when I was dealing with my summons lawfully, and I was learning about the mixed war between the public and private. King is on the top of the hill because his sign is on where the alphabet ought to be. The land gauge of the language that gauges the page. Woo! I honestly don't know if I could remember that if I were asked to memorize it. So I'm grateful to be a fast Eddie who is willing to ride the eddies of consciousness, so I can flow and bring it back to you to rift with. Tafno Tofino is where I'm being drawn to now. Paisley, oh, Ireland is always been on the map because the Celtic ways always resonated with me, and the Fae, they're very significant, and I would like to play in Sleepy Hollow Country Club. I would like to love where I am, what I'm doing, even if I've got to slow down 10 lines right in front of me, but that's not where I be turning, so it doesn't matter, except that 1010 is when this woman came to the world in 1987. That's the year and day and month when I was born, the McCourt. I have come to raise me own stink and to call others to side with me and not choose a side as I see it to be, with the CID for choose your side. Will it be menticide, democide, genocide, or homicide, or suicide? What is your side? Fratricide. All those sides are the ways that we can kill someone or something in the name of something that's associated with it, and I say that's not the way. The gates of change are there. We must change our language in order to trust ourselves to be the ones that we've been waiting for. I say to you, it's time to shore your heart of the cold-heartedness. 111 was the number there. Wow, it's new beginnings all over. Cedar Beach, Park and Sales. Oh, the age of sales was where we were declared dead, lost, and gone to sea. So we would be held in trust to the government that created a trust in our name, and say that we are the ones that need to pay when we're supposed to benefit. Regrind is how we've been taught that we need to grind. We need to hustle. The stone life is where you'll find it's heavy. It's heavy lifting because stones are heavy, and so are sticks. Words are light but have heavy implications. Oh my gosh, there's a balancing board or something. A large one. Along the side of the road. It was so exciting. It's been a long video. If you're still with me, why? Genuinely curious, what do you get out of this message? Why was it worth the invested energy, effort, attention, and money? And if you say it wasn't, then why are you still here? Like, you know, I'm asking for an action. I'm asking you to actually get invested, get involved. I want you to care about me, my story. I want you to understand the art and craft of being myself authentically. Did not come cheaply. It was not an easy lesson, but I lived through it. And now I say, if you want to give me advice, I want to know how you walked the plank twice, once on your own and then with me, because then I will trust you you to guide me to see where I cannot see because I haven't been there. But if you have, then you may know more. If not, how do you possibly think your intuitive ability to navigate the darkness of ignorance could possibly outweigh mine? And if you are the guide that I have trusted to help me find my way home, don't think that's going to be in my best interest. Western was on that truck, the plow. It's because the great schism between the East and West was when there was a change in calendar, and there is another one pending. And it will not be connected to any ancient state, but the dissolution of them all in the name of something else, where we can get back to the values and virtues like what I was calling for when I got deemed crazy and locked up for 2.5 life-changing weeks that have been the wound point that I started many of my stories from the point of for the last 5 years. And then I see a castle, and I see how that story was the wall, the gates, the trench, the moat around me, so that others knew what to expect.